Oh,
Oh, hey, it's us. The Sogo Comic
are
Shop, back from our 10,000 years lost in space and time.
we have
But
returned.
we returned. I didn't think we'd be back for a long time.
Return to sender.
It was a while.
It was a while, but you know,
You know.
I gotta say it's so
You
nice. It's so
know.
nice to be back here and out of the void of space, the cold
And time.
and time. Yeah,
More space, though.
Yeah, it's kind of dark out there in space. It's kind of
Well,
lonely.
that's why you spiced up with the time.
That's true. Spice it up with time. Little salt and pepper of chronology there.
And Spinderella. I'm Evan Coy.
And I am Aaron Z. Lee.
We're here with regular guest star.
Michael Callie.
No, we're here with special guest star. Oh, why is the camera crooked again? I spent like 4 hours moving this around.
And welcome to.
Oh, it's
Evan's
because I was
Camera
doing
Time,
this when you were fixing it.
where he nitpicks the angle of the camera when we could still very clearly see the people above their lower thirds, their respective lower thirds.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Shut up.
I'm an old artist.
Evan's
Oh.
the Alfred Hitchcock of
I was
podcasts.
I was inspired by Wizard Magazine's humor to do making the old fartist.
Ah, yes.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
Wizard
is,
humor.
what is that in reference to?
It's
Just wizard
really
potty
lame
humor.
humor. Yeah.
You know, I have to say that when I had some Wizard magazines, I remember back when I was at Camp Hollis as a camper, back when I was 10, reading the old Wizard magazines, I chuckled pretty heartily at things because they had a Galactus costume, and they said that he was Jim Shooter, and he was just like walking around the office. As a 10-year-old, that was pretty funny to me. Did I even know who Jim Shooter was as a 10-year-old? No. But I liked that they were making fun of him and saying that he was Galactus.
It's probably because he's tall.
Yes, that's right.
Can we get a
That's the
Scott?
joke.
Any Scott? We need an emergency Scott.
Why is that?
Nothing. No reason. Galactus.
Galactus?
Yeah.
What about him? Oh, he was cast
He's
recently.
not only is he the world eater, he's also the Scott eater.
Mm.
We need to appease the appetite.
Okay.
We're just gonna roll with it.
All right.
That.
Yes, and.
Yes,
Always do the
yes,
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 and.
and.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, Michael. He's going to be the Scott eater.
Yep.
You're right. 100%. Yeah, so.
Martin, why are we here today?
I don't know.
That is a good question,
It's been like
right?
a question we've been asking all day.
Why have we been here for the past 3 weeks? Is the better question.
I'm super excited to be back because I had something going on. I had a food in the oven or something.
Last week?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Are you referring to burying your grandmother-in-law as food in the oven?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I just don't know if that was the right figure of speech.
I was bench pressing caskets.
Mm.
That's an
Were,
impressive.
were you pallbearer?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've had to be pallbearer 3 times now.
Yeah.
Got me once. That's it.
You got me once. Shame
Nope,
on
I've only
me.
been a pallbearer
Called her
Twice.
me twice.
Shame
Shame
on
on
you.
you.
Get me 3 times. Shame on me again. I think.
Shame, shame.
A lot of shame to go around.
I've been trying to get shame on you earlier.
What's that?
Shame.
No.
Oh, my
Yes.
What?
Oh.
What
Comment from the group chat.
So wait, we're talking wizard today.
We are
and,
talking wizard.
Martin picked a very special wizard. Tell us why, Martin.
This issue of Wizard was released, what was the newsstand edition for May 1997. May 1997 was also the release date for Michael Callie.
Yes, I would not be here today if it wasn't for May of 1997.
And Wizard Mag and
And-
Gareb Sheamus.
And Gareth Seamus, yes.
Yes, definitely.
So since Michael Callie is the only person we know is young enough that has an issue of Wizard that was released on their day of birth, we decided to
on
flip
his
through
exact day of birth.
the exact day. It was
We researched it.
yes.
Did it really?
No,
Really?
no, we have no
Wow.
idea.
That would be a
Did we
great
do
Yes,
coincidence.
and.
He said
Yes, and.
he said we did research. When do we ever do research?
We spent a whole.
We did.
We literally have not even looked at a copy of Wizard yet. This
We
is all new to us.
researched this one. We
We did.
actually read.
We-
Actually, Martin, thank you very much for printing out copies.
Yeah.
I really
no, this
enjoyed.
was really fun.
That worked out, I think, really
Yeah.
well.
Thanks for sending me that PDF. I'll look
Well,
at it
you don't
after
do
the show.
research. You never do research. That's why it was like this is like I can
it's
I can type every page I want printed off one more time or
Mhm.
If I had it 2 weeks in advance, I might look at it.
no
No.
no
Who are you kidding?
I might. Who knows?
no.
You might, but you won't.
You won't.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's okay.
We still love you for who you are.
Thank you. That's all I ask is for acceptance.
That and the food that's in your oven.
You are in the acceptance zone, Aaron.
Thank you.
Of course.
It's good to be here.
Yep.
Good to be here in the acceptance.
Do you want to
zone.
just start at the beginning?
It's a very good place to start.
Yeah.
Where are we
Yep.
starting?
Let's
Which
go to the
beginning?
dot cam. We're gonna look at Wizard 97.
And you know
or
me on
Wizard.
this-
Actually, what number is this, Aaron? What Wizard number?
You did your research.
You can make me say it.
It's 60.
Are you gonna make me say it's a number? Say
Yes,
the number,
it's
Aaron.
69.
6'9".
Number 69.
What a coincidence that Michael's Wizard is 69. It's a feel good for everybody.
I couldn't have said
Oh,
it better
boy.
myself.
Yikes.
It's a great taste in everybody's mouth.
Yeah.
We have a nice Andy Kubert with
We're not done with 69
with,
yet. Come on, Aaron.
Dang inks here with liquid. So this is deep in the era of not double cover.
No double cut, no.
What's
just,
the ad on the
just
back?
one. Scud, the disposable
Disposable
assassin
assassin.
video
Hell
game.
yeah.
Do you remember? I don't remember the Scud video game.
I don't either.
I never
Wait,
played
is it a
no.
PS1 game?
It's got to be. It's 1997.
Ooh, that's real good on the eyes.
Yeah.
You know, I go back and I look at some of those PS1 games, and some of them. I mean, sometimes the limitation makes for a more compelling graphics thing. Because if you can do anything, then it's just like the over-rendered art that you get
Oh,
with
yeah,
some of
yeah.
the Marvel and DC.
So who's the cover artist and characters on there?
That is Wolverine and Kazar.
The Submariner?
Kazar the
Kazar
Submariner. That's right. Ooh, somebody really likes Kazar. Honk if you like Kazar. But this is
Dash
some
line.
good-looking stuff. I was saying earlier.
Look if you're horny for issue 69 of Wizard,
Oh, God.
starring Kazar.
Great bumper sticker.
Yes.
But I think this is maybe some of the best-looking Andy Kubert art that I've seen. I don't think that his stuff is ever bad by any means. But I'm definitely an Adam Kubert fan. Like if I had to pick. Maybe you want a shot if I talk about Adam Kubert?
No, our eyes met. And we
Across
had a
the
moment.
room, we raised a drink.
And just slow danced for.
Witchblade
Several
ad, BattleTech ad. Joe would appreciate that.
Yeah,
Shout
that's
out
some
to
nice
Joe and
painted
Indian
art. I don't
Office.
hate that. I love this thing when they did this, the flashback.
I do too. I
I
have the
don't remember
poster
that.
for that
Yeah.
I keep meaning to actually frame and hang up.
Can you explain what the flashback? I don't remember that.
So they did a -1.
You know how you have your zero issues.
Mhm.
You know how you have your popular number one issues.
Mhm.
They went one further backwards and did -1. So it's this is before the series started.
Ah.
Oh, this has nothing to do with Wizard. This was just the negative
No,
ones.
yeah, this is the
Correct.
negative ones from
Oh,
Marvel.
okay.
Yeah,
I
Marvel.
thought this was. I just
No,
looking
no,
at it
no.
from here and it wasn't included.
No, that's a
thought-
house ad.
Yeah. Okay.
From Marvel.
Yeah, I remember Kerry Nord did the Wolverine issue, and then the Chris
Turn that
Pachalo.
microphone.
Chris Pachalo with Generation
Hmm?
X was a good one.
This is in my way. I can't read.
Sorry.
But there was a lot of fun stuff. That
That's
month.
nowhere near me.
And this is back in the day when you could get these at the grocery store. I remember I picked up quite a few of these at the grocery store because I was there. Because that was back in the days where I couldn't just come on down to the comic shop on 12 East Bridge Street.
The comic shop.
Mhm. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, the pink
Okay.
cover.
Yep, the flashback.
Yep.
Yeah, so we got Spider Boy, we've got a whole bunch of other stuff. We have
Spider-Boy.
the Dragon Wagon,
Amalgam.
the
Oh, thank you.
Savage Dragon number half, Hellboy, 22 Brides. What the heck is
Well, let's not read the table of contents. Let's just get into this.
that? Okay. This
Yeah.
Young Heroes in Love thing looks interesting.
It was a good book, actually.
It looks like something I'd like to dig back in and read now.
I have multiple copies of large chunks of it.
Heroes for Hire. I remember when they did this because this was also at Walmart. They had these issues like on the corner, like in the end aisles.
What's the
at
creative team
Walmart.
on that?
It is Roger Stern, John Ostrander, and Pascal Ferry.
Oh wow.
That's a good team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 writers.
Yeah, and I'll go on the record saying I like Pascal Ferry's artwork. I think
Controversial position, but
I think he does a really nice
No.
job.
About 50% of the table agrees with you, Aaron. I think.
He's so brave.
I am brave. I'm the bravest one here.
I used to love the Wizards letter column and things like that.
had I thought earlier, I would have tried to contact some of these people to see if they would send you a birthday card. But
Oh, that's okay.
I didn't think of it until this week.
Oh, no worries. They wouldn't.
We've got some Jim Lee Rogue. We've got some. Is this Gary Frank?
That looks Gary Frank to me.
Probably,
Yes.
yeah.
Gary Frank Hulk.
Martin.
Some letter
Are we
art.
looking at the letter art
Some
page?
Von
Yeah,
Baudet.
Yeah.
Some Von Baudet.
I think that's the
art.
first page we've got.
Yep, letter.
Sewer urchin. Yeah, that must be a tick.
It's a tick character.
Yep.
Yep.
I wonder if we had a tick card.
We do have I do have a sewer urchin.
The
card.
There we
Thank
go.
you, Martin.
Files. David Duchovny and Elf.
Martin was talking earlier about the art for the readers that was included in this, whether it was the action figures, whether it was the letter column art.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you want to expound on that.
It's just like they would do these. People would basically for letter art would be they would draw on the front of an envelope and just send it to Wizard, and full range of different art styles and things, really great. Then they had homemade heroes where you either make a hero or you augment a previous toy to look like something else. We'll see later.
Yes.
Well, there's some other stuff too.
The letter art is interesting because if you read Thrasher magazine, which I know you guys are all big into skate culture,
We are.
which we're sponsoring
Yes.
the skateboard demo this whatever that is. I don't
June
know.
June
June 29th.
June 29th. They still do fan art for
that.
letters, but what they do is they're all from prisoners.
Mhm.
Cool.
So the return address is
It's
always
always the prisoner.
prisoners. And it's because they probably don't have access to certain things, or like maybe you just have a pencil and a paper, and that's what the commissary has. But Thrasher magazines to this day still have that letter column where they include envelope art, and it's not always all prisoner art, but I would say 75% of it comes from a prison, which is just
That's
great.
sick. Well, unfortunately, sometimes townspeople end up in
Well, let's go
unfortunate
back actually to
Let's go page 12.
Page 12.
Reborn
Talk
again.
to us about Heroes
with
Reborn.
Heroes Reborn ending, creators jockey for slots on Marvel Books.
Yeah, the interesting thing I found in this is they're talking about how there was a 12-month-long plan for Marvel's core heroes to take a journey over to Wildstorm and Extreme Studios to be fully produced by by Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld.
I did find that interesting. I know we've talked about this before, but I always forget that like Marvel Editorial basically just handed them these franchises.
Uh-huh.
They gave up on these books. Everything, like the kitchen sink had been thrown at all these titles, trying to get some kind of interest in the Image era here, which created some serious problems editorially for Marvel with all the creators and stuff. But in the article,
it sounds like you pissed off a lot of that in-house people. But like, why are we taking this out?
another bone of contention was the fact that sales on half the pre-Reborn books were on the rise. So that is a true statement, but also a statement that doesn't really apply because it was a very subtle uptick.
Increase.
Yeah, it wasn't anything that was going to be major. A lot of it was because Heroes Reborn was coming. So you had your Onslaught tie-ins and things like that. That would have been on, I believe it was Fantastic Four and Captain America were the two books. Carlos
Pacheco.
that guy, had joined for 3 issues before they rebooted. And it was Mark Waid and Ron Garney
Yes.
on Captain America, which
It was a solid team for me in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they were doing a great job on it, but it was not going to give you putting them in the top 10 books ever.
Yeah.
And Marvel really wanted attention brought to their IPs that were not X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't know. I'd have to look at sales figures from just 1995, 96 in general to 1997. That I feel like 1995 and 1996 were worse years than 1997, but I don't know that as a
I'm not
fact.
sure.
I can't, were sales just 10% worse a year ago, and sales in general 10% better in 1997? I'm under that impression, but I can't say that with fact.
I feel like the comics were. I feel like '96 was not great. 95 I think was good because that was Age of Apocalypse. 95.
Yeah, the Clone Saga was all the rage.
But then you will go into Marvel bankruptcy.
Was that
in
96?
96?
That had nothing to do with comic sales.
Right, but
Yeah.
That doesn't affect anything in the industry in general?
The comic book side of Marvel was profitable.
Okay.
It was all of these the way they were hemorrhaging money through their
Revlon.
acquisitions, of Panini and
And
Toy
Toy
Biz
Biz.
and all that, with I believe bad deals for licensing out their properties as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love to do a bunch of research on all the fun stuff that I just have like a passing
Yeah.
knowledge on that.
The Untold Tales of Marvel, the Sean Howe book.
I'm going to bring that in for
awesome.
Michael to read.
I haven't read that in a long time though.
So on page 14, they have the Buzz Box. In late summer, Marvel is planning a new imprint called Marvel Import, which reprints foreign licensed Marvel productions. 2 known projects will include manga-styled English translated Spider-Man and Wolverine from books in Japan. In addition to Import, Marvel also plans to release a horror line called Marvel Macabre and a children's line called Marvel Kids. Did that horror line ever? Does anyone know if that horror line ever materialized?
I think it turned into Strange Tales.
Is that what it would
Yeah.
be?
I think it must have
That-
been the Man Thing and Werewolf by Night, which I
That
actually
would
just
be-
picked up. First 2 issues of Man Thing are very good. I like them a lot.
Are those in color or black and white?
They're color.
Okay.
They're color.
Yeah.
Leonardo Manco did the Werewolf by Night, and I'm still flipping through those, but those were pretty good looking books. Who's the guy who who did Man Thing. He was a British guy. He worked on Death's Head too. Why am I blanking on the
Not
name?
Liam Sharp.
It is Liam Sharp.
Is it
I
Liam
like
Sharp?
him when he does his ink stuff. When he does his like photo collage digital stuff, I'm not as into it. But those are pretty good looking books. They're a really solid premise, but I think editorially they lost their way, and then
Yeah.
I don't think they were gonna
We
last
had-
long, even if they did.
We
do
had
great.
like one or two of them come through recently, and it was something that looked so interesting because I think it wasn't Werewolf by Night, but they were doing like Tomb of Dracula type stuff. I think around
Yeah.
that time period too.
And they ganged up the two books together as
Yeah.
the Strange Tales.
Yes.
As one book, which I think is a great
Mm-hmm.
idea. I wish they would do that now. But
They don't do
Yeah,
anthologies.
I can't find any evidence of a Marvel
Alright.
Macabre series. Man Thing was 97, so
Okay.
like the timeline for that checks out.
yeah, the Marvel Kids. I don't remember that.
I don't remember any of these lines to be
No.
honest. But I wouldn't have been a Marvel manga guy. I wouldn't have been a Marvel Kids guy.
I remember X-Men and Spider-Man, but I don't know if that was from that or if that was something they did later on.
The
No.
Spider-Man Adventures and X-Men Adventures.
No, the
Like the
import
X-Men
line.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know
stuff.
when those were
Yeah.
released.
yeah, I'm not sure on
Those
that.
are closer to like the early thousands.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I
But
don't know if that.
I think the Spider-Man one was Ryoichi Ikigami, who's
Bless you.
thank you, who was pretty legit. Like I don't always love like the manga or anime style, but his stuff is very realistic, like very rendered. He did Crying Freeman,
Oh, okay.
a whole bunch of
okay,
other stuff.
Yep.
Um,
Yep, I know that style.
I don't know if anybody else calls him this, but I call him like the Wallace Wood of manga because I feel like his stuff is like that referenced, and
I'm gonna
they're
guess it's
realistic.
probably only you.
probably only me. But I like his stuff a lot.
Scott W. Middle says that was a great Queensryche album.
Yeah, over here. Here in the Now Frontier. This also caught my attention. Ellis and Dillon unite for the weird Gen 13 annual. So Warren Ellis and Steve Dillon doing.
What page are we on?
14.
14.
All right, thank you. Okay, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's probably fun.
yeah.
Let's keep going.
Joe Kelly,
Any
Daredevil,
more on
Frank
Buzz
Miller.
Buzz?
Yeah, that was funny. The Joe Kelly thing. The question they were asking, were they going to keep the more light tone that had been introduced around that time period, or are you going to go dark like Frank Miller stuff? And his answer was basically that. Well, we're going to try and keep it light, and that resulted in Marvel Knights having to happen because that comes next.
It
was
was too light for them, and they
It was
wanted
it didn't catch on. Joe Kelly was a huge writer with Deadpool at that point. The Daredevil annual that year was Deadpool and Daredevil team up with to interact with Death. It's probably still a high priced book.
Yep.
Available at the Comic Con?
I don't think it's available at
Oh,
the Comic
okay.
Shop, but check sometime in July when we do our big Deadpool promotion.
Deadpool.
Before we move on from are we on page 16 still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
just
you want to-
let's just talk about the question of the month for just half a second here.
Question of the month, where is
the
that?
question of the month. A long
Pie
time ago
chart.
in a galaxy far away. If you haven't noticed, Star Wars is the biggest thing since Eli Whitney invented the cotton gin. So this is talking specifically about when they did the George Lucas remasters, re-releases, whatever you want to call them, and they added in
For 4,
all
5,
that
6.
new content for 4, 5, and 6. When I was, I'm under the impression that these were met with a lot of negative feedback
Well,
when
you
they first
remember
came
it
out.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember super well. I had them on VHS and watched them
You
all
were
the
in
time as a
vitro.
kid. Yep.
They re-released those in theaters too, didn't they?
They released them in
Yes.
theaters,
Yeah.
and I thought it was overall positive, generally. I
The
think
special
it's
editions?
yeah.
I
Yeah, I
remember
had a good time going to see him in theaters.
first day of 10th grade English with Scott Bandela, tore him apart.
Well, I think part of the problem is that's what happens. Is that it's
Like,
just
as
he
this time
changed. He
goes
keeps
on-
changing so much. He keeps changing so much that retroactively you go back and rip
Correct.
apart.
But an overwhelming 94% of people think George Lucas should have tampered with the original Star Wars footage. So apparently the demand for something like this was very high at the time. I just find it interesting that so quickly opinions changed on something like that.
I'm glad he did it.
I didn't
I'm
even
so
know
glad.
I wish he
until
I wish he did
was
it
a little bit.
more in the vein of how they did Star Trek, where it's just you're going in and you're improving the opticals, you're cleaning
Yes.
things up.
Yes.
Because he didn't even do that. In Empire Strikes Back, I think it is, on the re-releases, they have the shot of the TIE fighters coming at the Falcon, and you can clearly see the matte boxes
Yep.
on each of the. But we have, Jabba the Hutt light that they spent $1 billion on. Just
You know what I think they need to
So
do
so
more
Han
of?
could step on his tail.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yep.
I want to see the POV of Luke's severed hand
the whole time.
falling, like a good 10-15 minute sequence. Of
And
him.
also yelling no.
It's like we were going through Star Wars cards earlier this week, and my favorite named one was called "Weapon of an Ungrateful Son."
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
just a picture of the light of the lightsaber that was dropped from that whole sequence.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That's quite,
So clearly
quite a
that card
title.
was written by a Sith Lord.
Yes.
That's quite the title.
hmm
We have Spawn Month.
We do have Spawn Month, which
Oh yeah, go back
explains
again.
a lot.
You guys harass me for not going fast enough through the page.
I know, it was the one time he's like flying through a wizard. Yeah, but we get Angela's origin, and that only cost McFarlane $100 billion because in lawsuits.
One of the fun little snippets that I read out of this article is that McFarlane was unable to pencil anything Spawn related since Spawn number 50.
Yeah, I had that
So
on
we
one
are
too.
we are officially in the throes of Todd is doing movies and toys and everything else, and he's
Which
no
is what
longer
all the
part of
image
his
creators
property.
basically abandon
Yeah.
actually doing what they're good at.
Yeah, everybody's doing cartoons at this point. There's the Dragon
Toy
cartoon, there's the Wild
lines,
Card cartoon,
going
there's
for
the toy
movies.
lines.
Wild Card. That's everybody's favorite image property.
Yes.
Wild Card.
Wild Card.
Wild cards.
Yes. By Uncle James Lee.
All right. Let's keep going.
Yeah,
James Robinson is cable ready.
but thanks to sorry, before we move on, really quickly, if you're interested in Angela stuff, she's in Immortal Thor right now because of the weird Marvel licensing thing that happened with all of that.
So James Robinson on cable, he took the controversial. I'm probably blocking my camera. Controversial position. I think that Cable is a book that is too mired in confusing X-Men continuity.
Mm-hmm.
Something no one believes. And then he was also talking about I'm going to use the link between Cable and Madeline Pryor, and then her connection to the Hellfire Club. So very timely.
Hey, read the Image Comics box there. What's Larson doing? Right here. I can't.
Oh,
read
you
it.
want me to read it?
Yeah, I can't read it from here.
There's a new book heading to the Homage stable this June. Stephen Grant and Mike Zeck's Damned, previously known as Lawless, stars ex-con Mick Thorne, whose promise to a dying cellmate brings him to the city of New Covenant, where he's suddenly ensconced in murder, mystery, and mayhem. Ensconced.
And low
Ensconced.
sales.
I had fun with the. Oh, sorry.
No,
I
I'm
had,
not saying anything
I had
important.
fun with the comic book legal defense fund
I did mention
section
that.
of this
I
too.
didn't want to bring it down.
Huh?
I didn't want to bring it down.
Oh, bring it down. No, it's just a neat little snippet into the fact that there actually were trials and everything else that went along with all of the comic book smut peddling and everything else that people kind of
The
threw this
second
way.
case is a really long drawn out one. I don't remember any of the details of, but
It's very, very bizarre. A small bit of good news for John Hunter and Michael Kennedy, the Planet Comics retailers. In February, Oklahoma City's Criminal Court of Appeals decided not to bring the misdemeanor charge of keeping for sale obscene material back up to a felony. The actual trial should take place this spring or fall. And a Florida court recently denied comic creator Michael Diana's request for an appeal of his obscenity conviction, meaning he must begin serving his sentence, which includes a $3,000 fine and 3 years probation, plus psychiatric counseling, attending a journalism ethic course, and no creating of anything obscene, plus no interaction with anyone under the age of 18.
Wow.
Yeah, very severe penalties for drawing what
Have
might...
you guys seen the documentary
No.
on Mike
Nope.
Diana? I think it might still be free on Amazon Prime. I can't remember the title of it. What's the name of his book? Does it
don't
say?
remember. No,
Say.
it
But
gave
it's-
such little details. I didn't look it up because
It was interesting. It was good. It was it just makes certainly his stuff is edgy, but it's just so. I think he's the only person ever to be
I
found
believe-
guilty on obscenity charges.
Really?
For comics,
Interesting.
which is
But, I
very
mean,
bizarre.
Penthouse Comics is there on the page, so we have the duality of man right there in front of us.
Well, I mean, if you've seen Mike Diana's comics, I think it goes quite a bit further than.
You think so?
Than you haven't seen it.
No, I
then?
haven't.
Well, you
yeah.
should look
this
into
is
it,
something
yeah.
I'm not super familiar with.
But at the same time, freedom of expression, it's like
Yeah.
an underground thing that he's mailing direct to people.
yeah, comic book legal defense fund is something that's been very important in the industry, just,
Yeah.
especially in the South.
Doctor Who, hi kids, just dropping by to wish a happy belated to my B-Day twin, Michael Callie. And to say that when I flipped through that issue of Wizard last week, I saw a feature about the story of for Manga Gray. I bought all of it from Viz Comics back in the 80s, even got bootleg VHS tape of the anime with no subtitles, good times. It was the time when they didn't print the books from right to left.
That is excellent.
It's a shout out for Doctor Who.
Yep. Happy belated birthday to Mr. Bandela, my birthday twin as well. It's great to have you on the podcast last week. Learned lots
Beastie
about
Boys.
Doctor Who.
Beastie Boys.
Mark Waid and Andy Kubert will make you care about Kazar.
No, we skipped Sandman.
I know.
I need to yell about Sandman for a second before we go
Okay.
on to Kazar. Quite literally 30 seconds. The omnibus for Sandman, issues 1 through 36, was released like 2 years ago, and they have no intention of releasing the other half of that anytime in the near future. So if you want Sandman Mystery Theater, good luck. But it's a good book if you can track it down.
Page 18 or 19, they're talking about Marvel closes Hero World, goes exclusive with Diamond. Yeah, I'm taking back control.
This is the opposite of what it normally is.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna get through 25 pages of Wizard.
Yeah,
here, but
it's been a half hour here, buddy. Basically, this is going back to Marvel's huge expansion and stupid acquisitions. They bought one of the distributors, which they went solely through, which killed all the small distributors. Diamond scooped those up. Heroes Word fails, and Diamond grabs that. So now you have basically a monopoly and a broken system for comics. And then Bloodfire offers condom insert,
Huh.
Okay.
which was
Oh, AIDS Awareness
a-
Edition.
Yep, they were for
Yes, I am.
Amphar and
We've talked about Bloodfire before, Evan. I don't remember why, but I brought him to your attention once.
Yeah.
Now that I'm
you
reading
needed a
that,
condom.
yeah. Because Bloodfire is the world's first HIV positive
Oh, that's what it
superhero.
was, yeah.
We were probably talking
The
Shadowhawk,
Shadowhawk.
and I was looking for other
Yeah.
things in that vein. Wow, that sounds awful.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Awareness, yeah, that's a yes and. Let's move on.
that is a weird War Tales thing. That looks like a nice Glenn Fabry art there.
Yeah.
Stuff always looks good. That's pretty good graphic design too. I think that holds up.
Definitely.
Beastie Boys, Mark Waid and Andy Kubert make you care about Kazar. I like.
They did a little bit.
I think it looks pretty. What?
I think they did. It's still this is like my one like benchmark touchstone whatever to the thing, but
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know
like
the property at all, but I
Em-
do remember being excited about
it was it impressed me enough to like 3 years ago buy whatever miniseries came out with him that I never read.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of Kazar
I would go
knowledge.
back and read this Andy.
I have
think
the
he's
trades
very cool. I think he's very, very cool.
because they did release those.
It's some of the best art I think Andy Kubert's done.
I think it looks great.
The Jesse Delperdang inks. I think that maybe that he was the best inker on Andy Kubert.
I don't even know who that is.
He did stuff with him on Andy Kubert's Captain America run as
Okay.
well. He might. I think he still might work with him from time to time.
Jonathan Leggeman can Mark Waid do any wrong.
Yes,
Yeah?
We'll
Wait,
find
No one is
something.
infallible.
I'll add it to the list of future podcasts. We'll do a negative Mark Waid smear campaign.
Casting call.
Casting
Any
call.
comments for casting call?
Witchblade.
The most
underwhelming.
dull, underwhelming casting call ever. There's like no controversy here at all. I don't think.
I don't know the Witchblade property well enough
Me neither.
to make any of these.
Well, everybody looks like their picture.
Yep, I like that they got a Mortal Kombat guy to play a cool role, whatever that might be.
Guy with
But
sword.
Michael Yee.
I think
Liu
everyone's
Kang in Mortal Kombat.
Pretty close to their right
Oh, yeah.
ethnicity.
Mhm.
You know, from Mortal Kombat, I'm surprised I don't see him in more stuff.
Yeah, a lot of those guys kind of acted in that movie and went, "Wow, this was kind of a mistake," because the second one stunk so much. A lot of them didn't really pursue
I
acting
still
too
like
much
the
after
second
that.
one.
The
The
little
first
Shao
one's
Kahn.
definitely better.
First one's great. Second one's got some real fun CGI in it. They try. They
But
really do.
but the thing about the second one is they had more money.
They did have more money, but they used it poorly.
Doesn't mean something's good that's gonna
I
happen.
think they blew the
That's true.
budget on
I like,
big name
I like
actors.
this graphic design here.
Witchblade, by the way, is coming back.
Yes, it is.
It should be in stores soon.
Mhm.
They're trying a revival.
Mark Silvestri's doing a cool cover for that. I don't remember the art team, but it looks like it's going to be pretty solid.
James Robinson on Gen X.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a new writer on Generation X. I really like Chris Pachalo's stuff. Like even around this time when he's kind of morphing into something different than what he had been, with like the manga influence and the Joe Mad influence.
What issue is that?
29. 29. He stuck around for a long time
Did
on
he?
that book. Yeah.
Because I think like after
Except-
him was like Jay Faber, and then I think
Oh, for
that-
the writer?
yeah,
Jerry
then I-
Dodson?
yeah, and then I think they did the whatever that big X event was that made everybody edgy. And they,
Zero Tolerance?
no,
Oh, the Revolution.
yes,
With
yeah.
Chris Claremont coming back.
yeah.
Oh, that's a nice little border there. I think that holds up.
Actually, I'm not crazy about that. It's not a bad image, but yeah,
You
this is a
can't
weird
see it.
period of time for
It's going to be my
Chris
I like
Pachalo.
that the
passive
seagull is
series
such
after
a
X
prominent
Factor, which is
image.
probably going to be Generation
That is
X.
kind of funny. It just doesn't tell me anything about
Bad Dreams and Seagulls.
don't
Evan.
miss the boat.
Nautical.
I
Don't
don't-
miss the boat.
But it doesn't tell me anything that's going on.
They were at
It's-
sea at the
I
time.
don't feel like it's a great teaser.
Look, X-Men pajamas.
I don't know.
There's a rat on the
That's Emma.
life preserver.
Let's keep going.
Beautiful. One more time, Marvel.
More Amalgam Comics.
Your daughter's here!
Summon the seagulls.
Oh, that was a goose. My bad.
I'm pretty sure it's a seagull. I don't think it was. It might have been a goose actually.
I couldn't
don't
hear
know.
anything.
I don't know.
What are we looking at?
I'm too old to
the
hear things.
Amalgam.
Amalgam Part
Again?
2.
Here it is.
We never thought you'd see it. Omnibus being released this in a couple months.
Yep,
Yeah, Jim Lee drew a thing for it too, didn't he?
probably.
He did some covers. I didn't order those.
My favorite, I think one of my favorite parts of the second re-release of this was Lobo the Duck, because they got no.
Yeah, that's all I had on that.
Yeah,
Was the
Lobo the Duck's just fun.
the United
Generation Hex was
United
good,
We
too.
Gall was like one of the most cringeworthy
Yeah,
comedy pieces
comedy
they
that
did.
aged very poorly.
Which one?
10-year-old Aaron would love these jokes. though.
Page 37 maybe. It looks like this.
It's got an Atomic Comics ad on it.
Fed up with your no service, no selection comic shop? Boy, am I ever. I just-
That's true. We all are.
That's the
Diamond.
humor?
The United We Gall, the 10 list of no.
Yep.
The other was an ad.
The Justice and Snaker of Sinks, Elongator.
Yep. Number 8 was my personal favorite. Preacher supporting cast member R Space becomes one with Dreadnought, one of the dime a dozen robotic Iron Man villains, to create something known as Arsenaught. For those of you that have the worst sense of
I
humor
appreciate
possible.
what they're trying to do.
This is like 10 to 13-year-old humor. It makes sense.
Ms. Saigon. Oh, you can do it. What do you get when you combine Incredible Hulk villain UFOs with Spider-Man arch enemy Conduit? Well, brush up on your
Type
Arnold
the same thing.
Schwarzenegger impression and face when you come face to face with "You Can Do It."
Yeah,
That's
Captain
great.
Crapper. Captain Golden
Nice
Time
little Phil
Trapper.
Jimenez.
Yeah.
So we got a section here called Dream Teams, where the wizard staff picks creators who are definitely of the time to put on the main books.
Yeah, Grant Morrison, Phil Jimenez on Avengers. That sounds
I would
like a
love that.
winner.
That's a yes for me.
Sounds like a winner.
Roger String and Brett Booth is a no for me.
Oh wait.
On
what-
Amazing
that's
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
a dream team.
Yeah.
I think Brett Booth on art would be okay, but I'd want a different writer.
I would agree with that.
Because I like Brett Booth.
I do not.
I just don't know if he'd be a great.
Can I make things elongated enough? No, I can't.
Yeah.
His vertical hold isn't great.
Is that that's fair.
I don't like him.
No, fair enough.
I don't like his art. There we go.
Yeah.
I don't like
Brett
him.
We hate
Sure, he's a
that.
great guy, maybe. Yeah, Captain America. I know Aaron's loving that Ron Lim.
You know,
There's nothing wrong with Mark Waid, Ron Lim, Captain America in the '90s. I don't.
There
think
is to Aaron
If they
because
get the
Ron
right-
Lim wronged him some
well,
way.
if they get the right inker on there, because Adam Kubert did ink Ron Lim on those X-Men 2099. Those were pretty good.
Then we have
It'll be on time. That book would be
Yep,
on time.
yep.
This would be a top 20 every month.
and does Evan approve of the Daredevil lineup?
What's the Daredevil one? Matt Wagner,
and
Rick Leonardi.
You're a Leonardi
Yeah,
guy.
I'm a Rick Leonardi guy. I
I like him.
I don't know if I could see him on Daredevil, but I'd be there. Like if that came out today, I would.
Were we talking about the difference between how Spider-Man moves on a page and how
Daredevil
does? We were talking about that.
I'd
Yeah,
be
yeah.
curious to see again a Rick Leonardi. I know how his Spider-Man moves. Would his Daredevil move the same way? I'd be there. If this were today, I would say Martin sign me up for the first 6 issues.
Dan Jurgens and
And
Carlos
Carlos-
Pacheco for
Yep.
That'd be
Fantastic
a
Four.
very fun Fantastic
Yeah, his
Four
3
run.
issues of Fantastic Four, I would have read more of those. It was
Jurgens only did 3.
no Carlos.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Did Jurgens do any
I
Fantastic?
I don't think he's
Jurgens
done
done
any
any
Fantastic Four
Fantastic
now.
Four.
I like how dynamic his stuff is, like with the foreshortening and
Yeah, it was like a shocking departure just from the traditional Paul Ryan art to that with like no warning.
Mhm.
It was like one
Yeah.
issue there, and it was like, oh, okay.
yeah. Sadly, passed away. Carlos Pacheco or Pacheco.
Scott W. Middle says Pacheco FF is killer.
I'll have to check that out.
It's all of 3 issues. Oh well, no, I think did he come back to it?
I don't know.
He may have a
You're
little
the-
bit
you're
of
the-
a-
I
don't know.
I can't remember either.
Ooh, Fantastic Four.
Generation X. Tom and Mary Beerbaum.
I don't know who they are.
Chris Sprouse. Why the beer bombs?
They
Were
were
they
a
Legion?
husband and wife couple
Legionnaires.
who
Yeah.
were writing. I remember they were doing random image books, but I don't know much about them.
They had written soap opera type stuff.
So, in this issue, Wizard, there's so much love for Legionnaires. Like, I don't remember
Yeah,
that being
yeah.
a thing in real life. Is it just a Wizard staff thing that they all
Probably.
just?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like even out of this section, there's
Mm-hmm.
more Legion stuff. But
I think you can definitely see the influence of certain writers in Wizard magazine. That
Yeah.
at a certain point in time, one of their main writers was huge on Dragon and was pushing Dragon so hard when the sales just weren't there, and when it was a property that's like, yeah, it's good, but like clearly there's just like your personal biases
Yeah.
coming through, which is
Yeah.
fine by me because I'm a Dragon fan.
Yeah,
but
of course.
I mean, this Chris Sprouse stuff look on the Generation X characters looks pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see that.
Ghost Rider, Warren Ellis and Andy Kubert. I think that
Yes.
would
That
be
would
me
seem
looking
yes.
that
really
up.
fun.
you passed right over Garth Ennis and
I did.
the Wolverine page. Or am I
I
out of
did?
order?
No, I think-
We're
I
all
think-
out of
I
order.
think
These
you're out of
pages-
order.
Oh, yeah, mine's up.
This-
Yeah,
this
what
whole
happened?
quote's out of
Pages
Yeah.
are weird for our thing. Yes.
Okay, so
You're
43,
out of order.
44.
Yep.
Okay.
It's awful.
So we're on 40 and 41. Okay.
Iron Man, Peter David, and Jim Kelly for.
I would really like the Incredible Hulk.
I don't.
I would
I'm a
have so
Peter
much
David
fun with
fan.
that.
I don't like that Iron Man lineup. I just
I
don't
don't
see
know.
Peter David folding into that.
I don't know. I
That
mean,
style.
he could probably do.
Well, he can write anything, I'm sure, but I don't know if it'd be
I
a
don't know.
great fit.
I don't know.
I
I just don't. I'm not the one who's qualified to say yay or nay on that.
What do you
one.
think about Hulk?
Keith
Aaron?
Giffen and Adam Kubert. I think that would be killer.
I think it'd be really, really fun.
It's an interesting mix.
Another sadly passed away. Keith
Keith
Giffen.
Giffen.
Yeah.
Yep. The man I've probably read more comics from anyone else without realizing it.
I feel like an hour or two ago, I didn't like Keith Giffen writing that. Now I'm thinking that could be really fun.
He's
Which one?
great with character, with human interactions.
If Peter David
all
could
that.
do it, he could do it.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's,
it is,
that's what
uh,
I'm thinking is that like, team dynamic of like that's what worked well with Peter Davis is how diverse the cast was, how
Yep.
different the cast was, and I feel like Keith
The-
could do that same thing.
The
Like,
Yeah.
dark mental health tones
Oh,
that
he
he
would
brought
have
out,
so
but,
much
but
fun with-
juxtaposed with the humor and
Keith would
stuff.
do great with Joe Fixit Hulk, or if he had been given the opportunity. I think that would have been great.
Who'd be good on
Scott W.
Generation X?
Scott W. Middle Hulk book, great Hulk book, the better Kubert. I'm not going to say one Kubert's better than the other, but
Aaron will.
But yeah, Aaron will.
Aaron
with
will.
definitive,
I mean, they're both very good. They're both very accomplished. I love Adam stuff. I've met Adam in real life, and I have books signed by Adam.
and Andy's a hack.
No,
Heard it first. That's the soundbite.
No.
No.
they're both very good, but
They're both
I have a
very good.
special place in my heart for Adam Kubert
Yeah.
and the work that he did on Wolverine. It was very important to me growing up. Still very important.
So,
to me.
so what is your take on the Wolverine lineup here?
I don't think we're even there yet.
We are not.
You're rushing
not?
me.
Nope, the pages are messed up again. You got to flip them back because now we're on 42, which
We
is
gotta cross
here.
all these
Okay.
Spider-Mans.
Yeah, I hate the way this is structured.
Kurt Busiek and Mike Waringo. And Michael Waringo in anything since he sadly passed away.
Mike Waringo.
So-
I didn't even notice Silver
Yeah,
Surfer.
there's some Spider-Man stuff later on. I
They-
want
they
to
have
talk
some-
about
like
some
these Spider-Man
frustrations.
lineups are more interesting to me. Steve Scroce.
Yeah.
I would read a Steve Scroce Spider-Man.
Is that how you pronounce his last name?
It's got to be right.
Scroachy.
I said
Is it?
Scroce for
I've
decades.
said Scrolls forever too.
But there are other famous people also named Scroce. So that must be it, right? Until somebody tells me different.
I was gonna say scrotum, but Evan was taking a strike. I did not want to risk getting spewed.
Well, I'm glad that you refrained from saying it. That
Getting
shows a
spewed
lot
on.
of,
Wow,
shows a lot of
really bad
maturity
choice.
that you
I didn't
had that
notice
restraint.
Silver Surfer until now. Bill Messner Loeb's writing Silver Surfer would have been kind of
Mhm.
neat.
Yeah, with Ron Garney?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
That would have been killer. And didn't they have that? Didn't they try to put Ron Garney on Silver Surfer when he left Cap? I think they did.
I'm not sure.
I feel like I read something like that. Ron Mars and John Romita Jr. I like John Romita Jr.'s
I think
Spider-Man.
this era
I don't know about
JR
Mars.
would be good. I think if you told me that JR is on Spider-Man right now, and it's
Martin,
Disagree.
not
Martin, you-
Callie approved.
it's not your fault, but you've ruined John Romita Jr. for me. I think
Mhm.
4 or 5 years ago, I would have argued vehemently that he's a good artist,
hmm
and I remember you being like, "Nah, I don't like this. I don't like
He can
that."
tell a story. I just don't like how it looks.
I just feel like I'm so disenchanted with his stuff as of late. And like,
His-
don't, like
Well, his phone and
late stuff.
covers. I mean, it's really
some of the covers, it's
Like-
like he's collecting a paycheck, and I'm all for that. Collect a
Mhm,
paycheck.
yeah.
I just don't think editorial pushes
Check out
back.
recent Daredevil covers, everyone. Just you'll agree with me.
I don't think editorial pushes back.
No.
I think he's such a big name that like whatever he turns in is just what's put on the cover. Who knows what the timelines are for these things? Like maybe they
That's
just have
true.
to take it. But like
And
man,
he's,
it's
he's
just.
known as being super fast.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go to Larson then because Larson does this sometimes when he's done Marvel books. I think it's just a rush to get the deadline. So because he's such a deadline guy.
Hmm.
So the characters end up having clothes on.
And the art
It's weird.
and the art suffers. It just it's almost like take the extra week or two and have it be right. Take the extra hour or two. I don't know.
The Peter Parker book, I think, is the lineup so far that I like the best.
Yeah, I mean that's a killer book.
That's
What was that one? Kurt and
Kurt
Ringo?
Busiek
Yeah.
and Ringo.
and Mike- yeah.
And again, Ringo's one of those artists where I almost wouldn't care who's writing it.
Mhm.
You know, Aaron Z. Lee could be writing it, and I'd be like, yeah, this is a great book.
Which book?
If you were writing
anything with Mike Waringo doing the art on it.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying
I'm insulting you.
I'm not. You'll notice that.
It's man, he's-
Marvel does need to hire me to write some stuff.
They do actually. They do.
Maybe you can save Doctor Strange later.
Oh, don't get me started.
I will not.
All right, let's keep going.
Thor, Jeff Loeb, and Stuart Immonen. Put them on anything.
Stuart Immonen, again, a person who can draw anything,
And in different styles too. It's kind of
Yeah.
impressive. Like some of the different chameleon
Yeah.
things he's done
Next wave. Yeah, we got to get into that at some point.
We're doing a next
Love-
wave
love
next-
it.
in the next year, I think.
Uncanny X-Men, Tom McCraw and Tom Payer. I know of Tom Payer. I don't know McCraw.
That's another Legion.
Another Legion thing.
Yep.
I've actually met Tom Payer in real life.
And Joe Mad, that's such a stretch to go with.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, who would have ever thought he would be on the next book?
Yeah, but Wolverine, Garth Ennis, Javier Solteres, and Mark Texiera. Sounds like a good lineup for me. Sounds like a winner.
I would, yeah.
I'd read it.
I love
Did
Mark
Mark
Texiera.
did he do a lot of Wolverine?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He did a good run there, like maybe in the '60s through.
The 1960s.
It's like
yeah.
1960s. Wolverine wasn't even around then.
like the number.
I know, the number 60s. Yeah, we got it.
60-ish.
We picked up what you
There's a
were.
good Omega Red thing. I read when Wolverine was out in the desert or something, he's getting like picked apart by vultures, then he caught one and ate it.
That's, I like it.
And that was I
All
read
right,
that thing
now
in
we're back to
tatters
normal.
as a kid. I stapled it back together.
Oh,
I
that,
loved
you,
it so
you
much.
told me about that book.
Yeah. X Factor, James Robinson, and
Yep.
Bernard Chang.
Very happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. And Chang did this Boomer up here.
Yeah.
I like that drawing. Or no, you must
No.
be talking about this.
No,
thing.
he's the
Oh, this is the Chang.
below.
Okay, yeah, he's got kind of he's akin to a Pascal Ferry.
That's Forge and
Yeah.
Mystique on there, in case you didn't know.
No skull on the forehead. Come on.
X-Force, I don't mind at that time Chuck Dixon writing it, but I don't know about Tom Grummett being a... I just picture like his Superboy stuff, and I don't think that's the X Factor I'd want to read.
Yeah. Yep.
They're X Force,
Or X-Force, yeah.
X Man, Christopher Priest, and Humberto Ramos.
That would be an interesting
think
book,
it'd
I
be
think.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it'd be...
I'd want to flip through it.
Yeah.
And then you got Tom Payer and Tom McCraw again for regular X Men. Artist Martin Edgeland.
Did we? We did not look him up.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, yeah, you did, because
Yeah,
he's
he's a Mad
a
Oh,
Joe
you-
Mad
because-
copycat.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right,
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
remember looking through. They had a trade paperback of Aquaman at Barnes and Noble years and years ago of this era, and I remember looking through it and thinking this looks very Joe Mad. So, and why not Roger Cruz? He was unavailable.
Yeah, I know. I think that was even my joke a couple hours ago yesterday.
Was it really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then you got Alex Ross again, rocking the skullet as hard as he possibly can.
Yep.
Hey, if
27
anybody remembers what Uncle Sam was about and can tell me right now, you get some points.
That's an excellent point. None of us remember what we know that it existed. Uncle Sam
Recognize
was a
it.
project that came out for Vertigo. What it's about, I don't know.
Reading through this article, Alex Ross says it's a preachy book. He's trying to do some social commentary on the current state of the United States. So it's interesting that it's coming out in a hardcover for the election year for the first time in who knows how long.
Plot twist, things got worse.
Whoa, he got the guy from Kingdom Come to go into his studio.
Yeah.
Yes.
My favorite part is in the article. He talks about how it's not like it's exciting to draw his dad, but it's not really that big of a deal because it's just a basic figure. It's really funny. He's like, it's cool, but it's not like drawing Superman. It's just my dad.
You know, fun fact, I drew my dad for Was It the Robot the Dark Ages, available now at the comic shop, 112
Really?
East Bridge Street, the
The
comic shop. Just
What
for
comic
three,
shop?
three easy
We don't just
payments
sell
there.
quality comics.
We sell Wesley the Robot comics.
So Wesley too.
The toy chest.
Oh, it's now Evan's turn.
Wesley
Is
the
it?
Rodent.
It's toy chest time.
He does
Yep.
shout out your editor, Karen. What is
Karen
it?
Berger?
Karen Berger. With
Or
me-
is it Burger?
I don't know.
Oh, that was Burger.
That's what I thought.
He
too.
likes
I don't
her?
know. That he likes her. That
Good.
just his relationship with the artists that he writes with can be very not contentious, but I think he really pushes and digs for these are his projects. Like we got to go deep. We need to know the nuances of these characters. Let's talk it out. Would these characters really do that? And like there's a lot of back and forth. And he thinks that some writers may not like that process, but his editors are very supportive.
She was an amazing editor. I think across the board, everyone just
Yeah.
adored her.
Yeah. But-
And her crew of assistant editors.
Yep.
They all,
Yep.
I mean, they
They're
all
good
went on to
community,
take
yep.
over everything
Everything else, yeah.
Little Hellboy contest.
I like Hellboy.
That
Look how good
contest
that
was
stuff
cool.
looks.
Oh, that's right. We
You
got,
could
we got a
win
bunch of
Hellboy
stuff we don't
or
have
Zippo.
now. I
Hellboy Zippo.
Hellboy Zippo.
think we jumped to
Basic
62.
training, draw teen superheroes. They did it. Good job, guys. Oh, you're still doing it. All right, cool.
Were those drawing segments actually quality?
Some
Would
could
you
be.
say?
I would
or-
say yes.
'cause-
There were some of like the. It wasn't Brutes and Babes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking instantly, but it's not right.
Dude,
Sorry, John Byrne.
Some of them as a kid, like as a 15-year-old kid, yes, they were very helpful. And some of them were kind of complicated. You know, when you talked about curvilinear perspective and things like that, it's just like, well, I don't know what that is. Hold
Yeah,
on
that's
here. We
pretty
got some.
advanced.
Look at that. We got some. There's like a Star Wars schnozzle man, and then there's this
Imperial.
guy here. What did we buy yesterday?
Yesterday.
Imperial Spy. This
Look at
is
that.
Garindon Longsnoot.
Long-
Toy Fair
Long-
97 representing here.
Long snoot.
With hold out pistol. I think this is my favorite character in Star Trek now.
Or even Star Wars.
Star Conflict. Outer space conflict.
The star something.
Very good.
And-
And then this beautiful
Jawa with Tauntaun.
Ronto and Jawa.
Not Tauntaun. What's it? What's
It's a
that thing called?
Ronto.
What's the girl Cubert?
Emma?
Emma.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Emma.
She's two girl Q-birds.
Oh,
No.
that's true. An editor.
The other
Katie,
one's
Katie
the-
Kubert's an editor.
the Batman editor.
Yes, Batman editor. Well, and there's more than that, but those are the ones that are
Michael-
close to field of comics.
Michael, what is a Ronto? I have no idea.
Okay.
Tauntaun is just the
Tauntaun.
the
That's
cold,
a- that's
cold
a-
oh.
version of that.
That's
This is
on
the
Hoth,
warm. This is the
Michael.
warm version of that.
Okay. Okay.
Scott's still here. Is there a Scott that can help us out?
Yeah, we got more stuff.
I
Actually,
love
yeah.
these toys.
It's fun times with the
Yep.
OK Corral. Ooh, a Wendigo. That'd be fun.
You'd eat that up?
I like a Wendigo.
Yeah, I have some of these figures in a tote in the closet.
Look at the. Is this action figure prices?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Yep.
so.
so
Now,
late
Michael,
90s.
where do you go for action figure prices?
Like if you're trying to figure out how much stuff is worth,
Yeah.
you're pretty much at the mercy of eBay now
Yeah.
for a lot of this stuff.
Jump on the dragon.
Oh, hold on. We're at the very important Savage Dragon
Dragon
1/2 issue. We
Wagon.
should rip that out and send that in and see what happens.
See, I think this page is printed.
I
Probably
don't.
an empty
Accident.
office building.
Yeah, I don't have this
On
1/2 issue. I believe.
there's
You
It's actually
don't?
the cover-
Look at this pose.
It's the cover for
What
issue
a
7.
pose.
Cover for issue 17. That's not even the cover for the half issue.
He's diving down, and these little legs are just dangling in the air up above him.
Savage Dragon is one of my favorite top-heavy characters.
Well, that was everybody at Image was doing such massive characters that he every time he would draw a dragon, he would make his torso bigger and bigger because he just felt like
He had to keep up with the
everything else
Joneses.
was everything else was just huge. And then I think that peaked at like issue 22, where he has like regular size legs, and his body is just massive.
Some Painkiller Jane. I've flipped through a couple of these. They have Rick Leonardi artwork.
Yeah.
These Painkiller Jane ones.
They're in,
I
they're in
think
like
they're
a big
illustrated
portion
well.
of
I don't-
that, think.
Okay.
Because these were the event comics and the thing that Joe Quesada was doing
Yeah.
before he was brought in to do Marvel Knights. And I think it was another licensing thing where they gave his studio.
I totally wish I was paying attention 2 seconds ago. What would you
the,
say?
foray. when Joe
Joe
Quesada
Quesada.
took over, when he did Marvel Knights, I think
Yeah.
it was a similar thing to the Heroes Reborn.
Yeah,
thing,
it
where
was
they gave
less.
Event Comics.
It was less aggressive handing the characters over because I
Yeah.
think they learned some lessons from Reborn. But yeah, basically it was just. Yeah, they weren't liked.
And they did the same thing with MTech, didn't they, or no?
I'm sure Bobby Chase's upcoming
Yeah, Yeah, I'm looking forward to
memoir.
that.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff on that because
I don't have any ill will towards Bobby Chase.
Me either.
I think she was always trying to do a good thing.
Roy Thomas does.
Yeah.
Oh, he does? Oh. Well, Roy Thomas tried to take Wolverine. So.
Yes,
He
and
did.
she put him on blast
Good.
for it
Yeah, as she should.
Yeah, that's
Good for her.
that's a bit much, I think.
Mark Waid.
because she was retiring and she didn't care anymore.
Have we
Yeah.
made it? Have we made it to Homemade Heroes yet?
Yeah, I skipped it.
What a shame. Somebody
Sensational
somebody
Spider-Man.
took 4 pounds of clay and turned it into a giant clown, and you couldn't even show it on the camera.
And then there's cereal
Well, I
boxes.
showed it.
Oh.
People can go. People can go
Yep.
back.
Yeah, and someone made an onslaught with some cereal boxes.
Can we
Pretty
get
cool.
an Aaron in the middle somewhere? Just
What do you mean? Spidey's fun again, but is it too much?
Yes.
Yeah, nobody wants.
oh
to
wait,
play
where is that?
Spider-Man
Where is
much.
that? Is that
Page 90.
this pissed me off. Yeah, a lot.
Why would you not want to have a fun Spider-Man?
That's what it's been dark and they, not only that they editorial purposely made 4 different Spider-Man books, each with a different tone.
Mhm.
So you could get whatever you want, and this idiot has to just basically shit all over this book. It was a fun book. It was a book that would be your one up above from Untold Tales of Spider-Man. It would be the next entry level for an age group. They also, whoever these idiots are, gave the Power of Shazam series the same exact rating as Exo Man of War.
You're right.
So
Luckily,
I
there's no author listed.
for what? Exo?
The skinny.
Oh, for this, yeah, I have no idea.
That's because he's ashamed of his opinions.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of BS. You're doing this under a guise of there's no accountability
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
your
Yep.
opinions.
Yep.
You can poop on
Um,
whatever book you want.
Which, poop on a book. I don't
Mhm.
care. But, like, you're going to do it behind the
Yeah.
wall of anonymity? Like, that's kind of a cop-out. And they could easily just have different names there for the different...
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, like when I insult,
Grow up there.
when I rip Wesley apart, I mean, I take credit for it.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of confused as to how we have 4 books but only 2 different ratings when there's a
Mhm.
6 rating scale. Like, you couldn't have
Yeah.
differentiated
Wizard
a little
magazine
bit
in
more.
the late
I don't know.
90s. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of context.
Brandon Choi's back. Brandon's
I
back.
missed him.
Where are we?
What's
The
the
ad-
ad?
the ad-
Oh, okay.
Ad for Wildcats. Just as Brandon's back.
He's back, baby.
I think I like
Oh,
Mike
Matt
Shaw a little
Broom.
more.
It was interesting how, like, the power scale changed a little bit in the late 90s, because, like, I think maybe Marvel... I mean, Marvel was always a big engine, but I
Can you
think
get the
Image had less...
Tauntaun or the Tauntaun light out of the way, please? Thank
The
you. I just kind of want to
Ronto.
see where we
The
are.
Ronto, Martin.
Yes.
Because
The
Matt
Sand
Broom
Tauntaun.
would get pulled onto some X-Men fill-ins or a small X-Men run.
Okay. Sure.
I remember because I was reading these things at the time.
Picks.
Ooh,
Astro City 9.
Any good picks?
The Astro City 9, that's the one that Arlene tricked me, one of the issues Arlene tricked me into buying because one of the characters had the same last name as me.
Huh.
And she goes, yeah, it's an anthology book. They do like one, this is a 2-parter or something. It ended up being like a 6-part thing where Kurt got sick during it, and so it stretched out even longer, and then I had to buy all the Astro City stuff because it's a great book. Pick it up.
Was that the gimmick with Astro City? Is that everything was standalone?
It was basically, yeah, this was like the first time I think they dipped into a multi-issue, and it was Confessor and the
So you have every
storyline.
appearance of Laura Kinney then, X-23.
No, I learned my lesson here that
No.
You know where I was killed in the last issue of Tough Stuff?
You were?
Yeah.
yeah,
But I thought
in
the
his good
character had
toupee.
hair.
He was wearing his good toupee too.
Mr. Coy.
Oh. Oh boy.
Thunderbolts 3 is a good read too.
Yep, that first Thunderbolts run. is
The
pretty
last
good.
surprise in comics, maybe.
And
Really?
that Thunderbolts run had the integrity to feature Machine Man.
You were going to say that.
And the integrity.
It's about Callie. We don't have to bring up Machine Man.
And he was in the original costume, doing Machine Man things.
Thunderbolts. Yeah, 10th grade, I want to say. I remember my buddy Tim, which I talked to you about, like, he was the Deadpool guy, he was the Spawn guy, but I think he brought in Thunderbolts and was like, you have to read this. Also the first person to ever try to do a comic book.
There's
How about the
Savage Dragon 38 is a pick. Is it a good one?
I honestly don't remember 38. 30?
I remember it. I'm living it right now.
Yeah.
And then we have Untold Tales of Spider-Man number 22 for 99-cent cover price.
I think 38 No, that's 36. I can picture the cover for 36. I can't picture the cover for 37. I can't picture the cover for 38.
They did not.
I wish
feature
they
it.
would do more stuff like this, where it's just a one and done character in their prime. You know, just like in the core era of like what everybody knows about the character.
Oh, the Untold Tales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Like more out of continuity, just hand it to a creator to do a small run, have fun with the character.
That might have been a
move on.
fun way to relaunch all the X books too. Spawn 61 is a good one.
Spawn 61. The issue after is a little bit better because that's when Spawn becomes Al Simmons for a day and gets to be a human being for a little while.
Aw.
Okay, I remember.
Yeah,
that
he
one,
gets to have some interactions with Wanda, and maybe or maybe not pays a visit to Jason Wynn, who's still somehow not dead yet by this point.
We have the trailer park with Silver Surfer. I think that 3 out of 4 people at the table all give a thumbs up to Silver Surfer. Yes,
Incredible
I like
CGI
Silver
for
Surfer.
the time period.
it'll be a future
I
podcast
love
Especially
the coloring in
that,
that
on
show.
Disney Plus. Watch
Especially
it.
the Mike Allred. I can't remember the writer. Was it Jim Zub? I can't remember.
We're talking about the TV show.
So, the Silver Surfer TV show.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
also
yeah, yeah,
good
yeah.
too. Yeah, I
The,
like
the
that a
Mike
lot.
Yeah,
Allred
trailer
Silver
park,
Surfer run is also good, though, Aaron.
Yeah. Michael Callie is the 5th season the last for Lois and Clark.
If Dean Cain had
It's
his
holding
way.
Dean Kane's career back.
I
That's
wonder
what
if
he's whining about in this article.
I wonder if he's
yeah.
going to cancel his Nickel City Comic Con appearance for the 2nd year in a row.
Oh, maybe.
Neil Gaiman may direct Death. That never happened.
Nope.
The Mighty Marvel update was interesting too,
Yeah, with
The
the
Generation X live action TV series.
which
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of until today.
which
Oh,
you need,
really?
you need
Yeah,
to just
I
go
had
on
no
YouTube and watch
clue.
it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe that should be our Wednesday view.
The
This
costumes are
Saturday.
accurate.
I would watch that. I would watch that, and I would watch the Nick Fury one. I just haven't.
Ugh.
There was James Cameron was interested in
What else
producing
was
a
there?
Planet of the Apes
I think
movie
it was
with
just the
Arnold
two.
Was it
Schwarzenegger.
just the
Just the
two?
two.
Okay.
I mean, there was other stuff that came up later, like there's a Man Thing movie.
Yeah, that was much later.
But the Nick Fury movie. If you want to see a sweaty David Hasselhoff in the final
yeah.
act,
So much camp that was. Yeah, it was.
I
It was
didn't-
an
I
experience.
didn't hate it, but I wish that he wasn't like super sweaty and dying for the
Yeah.
final fight.
I'm ready for it.
And who was it? Is it Lisa Rinna?
Yeah.
that eye roll, I felt it.
A lot different than the Shield TV show. Many years later.
I don't want to cast aspersions, but I'm pretty sure I know how she got cast in most of her roles.
Oh,
Blade is underway, guys.
Blade.
Next page, yeah.
Beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I pointed this out earlier.
Yep.
Chris Christopherson joins Blade. What a great casting decision for that character. Because if you watch the Spider-Man animated series, he's meant to be like a British guy.
Yeah.
Like a Hammer horror, like old.
I think they should have cast all the Highwaymen.
Sure.
I'm on board.
Yes, and.
Yep, Blade
Yes,
Blade
and-
single-handedly saving the future of cinema for superheroes.
Oh,
Right.
Tim Russ voiced the Prowler on
Yeah.
Spider-Man. I had no
Mhm.
idea.
The Star Trek cast gets around for voiceovers.
They do a great job, though. I mean,
They're all good
that's
actors.
why you watch Gargoyles.
Exactly.
Frakes voiced the villain.
Then we have the Spider-Man where none of us
None of
wanted
us
to
wanted
read
to
the
read
character
it.
profile. We're like, we're just gonna skip this one.
We've read enough Spider-Man.
Wildstorm's Ultimate Sports Contest. Sports. Let's hear it for sports, guys.
Wait, what sports?
Uh,
Oh, you went
it's
back
a it's a ad for their
Okay.
their.
Character profile.
There we go,
Spider-Man.
now we're-
Who doesn't know who Spider-Man is?
That's what the thing
Yeah,
is. Like,
that's a
what are you gonna
dumb
tell us?
Similar tastes. A lot of heroes have tried to capture the style of Spider-Man, but most of them come up a little bit short of the genuine article. However, books like Green Lantern, Daredevil, and Robin capture a lot of the everyman quality, as well as a great mix of action and supporting cast spotlights. Check them out.
What a load of
You won't
crap.
be surprised.
We really need Aaron to do like a lot more audiobooks for
Yes.
us.
His reading is excellent.
It is.
Um,
We can tell you're a teacher.
You're a good reader, Aaron.
Welcome to the Comic Shop Does Audiobooks for a visual medium.
I just love the fact that that's the one thing we compliment Aaron on. We rip him apart. for
Good
us.
job reading, Aaron.
And then we got
Thank you.
Then we got Scott Bandler's manga Shades of Grey.
Shout out to Scott.
I don't
Bandler.
know if he gave it a
Only
thumbs up
person
or
who knew
not.
any of this.
Yeah, I know it
I
was
think I
hilarious.
was kind of interested in this thing. They're like these old sci-fi like techno mangas. I'm always interested in a little bit. Oh, THB. This stuff goes for not a bajillion dollars, but it's very expensive to get this.
Never heard of it.
Paul Pope,
Never heard of it. It's Paul Pope?
anthology book. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
these are the
never
Japanese
seen-
comics that he produced.
Okay,
I
I
don't
was
know
like,
if they were ever
that's manga, that's
released in Japan or not.
That's interesting.
but he did some stuff, and then it was
Shouldn't have skipped these pages.
recombined.
Should've paid attention.
Heavy Metal might have been a manga thing, but there was a lot of stuff he was producing for Kodansha. But somebody just put the collection of these up on the Cartoonist Kayfabe Ringside Seat Swap group for like $200 for all of them.
Yeah.
That's pricey to me for
Yeah.
How many books are you talking?
maybe 7 or 8.
Oh yeah, that's pricey.
Yeah. But it is Paul Pope. But the good news about this is that First Second, the Scholastic publisher,
Yes.
is collecting these to be published. Like I was watching a Paul Pope interview. I think it was one of the final few like kayfabe interviews, and he said that the pages are at Scholastic and they are scanning them currently. So this could be available for everybody
My
soon.
Evil Ernie quote.
I think so. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that one. Manga scene.
Did we pass Card Market already or no? Oh no. Nope, we're
It's
good.
better.
Okay.
Kitchen Sink picks up tempo.
And there's a Sliders card set.
Sliders. That's like a small hamburger, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's
Okay,
how, that
cool.
that is going across different realities, trying to get home.
I know.
Save the
Martin
day.
wants me
I
to talk
don't-
about Sliders. I love this show. I can't tell you anything.
Every
about
time
it.
anything he sees, which is strangely more common than you think, Sliders comes up, he gets all excited. But
I do love Evil Ernie. That first miniseries is excellent.
Oh, Evil Ernie's great.
It's so much fun.
And I
Stephen
like his.
Hughes, man.
Yeah.
I like his
R.I.P.
little quote here. It's true. If you bash 100 cents into your head in the dark, your scalp glows.
it's true.
Oh,
Oh, it's spoken like only Evil Ernie.
Yeah, he mentioned this earlier. I
Yeah.
couldn't figure out where he
Oh,
got it
look
from.
at
Then I'm like the
this.
picture.
I'm not sure why this is here, but
The bunnies.
yeah, Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail had bread and milk and blackberry for supper. Is it true we're only good for eating and reproducing, Mama? Beatrix Potters, Peter Rabbit, and Friends.
Everything had a card.
Everything had a card.
Wow, I love that as a.
It's just so right, it's like right below right below
What?
Wizard, or right below Evil Ernie.
That is actually, I saw that too. I didn't even think about the placement of that.
Yeah.
Evil
What are they
Ernie
doing?
juxtaposed
Uh-huh.
with Beatrice Potter.
What?
No.
Like, okay.
The team up you needed.
Yes.
There's
Okay.
one more thing on the Card Market page.
Is there?
99 packs of trading cards for
Ooh.
X-Men. When was the last time you paid $1 for any pack of trading cards?
Well, that was when I bought
okay.
X-Men trading cards
So-
at the dollar store when
Yeah.
they had X-Men 95.
Ah, all right.
This is many years ago, but out of nostalgia, I bought many of them.
Yeah, yep. I have a complete set of the 95 X-Men cards.
When
somewhere.
did you guys ever do this when you bought trading cards?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Did you ever take them and then like put them away and not open them for a few weeks because the excitement would be maintained? It'd be like, I have no idea what's in this
Got a
pack. It
pack-
could be
a
like the
pack
best
for later?
pack ever.
No.
And then when you need a little
Your family
boost,
should have bullied you.
open it up and you're like, ooh, I got a Wolverine in that one. It's a good
No,
gift.
I like that. That's
No.
kind of funny. It's like rewarding yourself.
Yeah.
I can open one pack of cards if I'm good this week.
Do you like Witchblade? Do you like scantily clad ladies? Then we've got a top 10 for you.
Oh, yeah.
Witchblade,
And-
Dark Child,
Off-
Witchblade.
Off-brand Witchblade.
Preacher.
Witchblade again. Preacher. Preacher is a good
The amount
series.
of Garth Ennis that's on this list.
More Witchblade.
I just want to say
Dark-
Fantastic Four is on this
Do you like
list.
Witchblade but wish it was a dude?
Wish it was a
Into
dude.
darkness.
Another your off-brand Witchblade again. And then down to the bottom, I think there's even more.
Yeah.
JLA.
I've never read Leave It to Chance, by the way.
I don't even know what
Neither.
that is. Give it a chance. Is that like a Terry Moore thing?
No, it's James Robinson.
Oh, okay.
I forgot who
It was
the
Image.
artist
Hitman.
was.
I
Yeah.
hear that's one. I haven't actually read it.
I think I have most of it.
I remember these things. These little bronze
Any
statuettes.
top
Oh,
100
yeah, yeah.
comics you're interested in?
No.
Oh,
Top 100? No,
Yeah.
not at this time.
No, none of those were really all
Top
that
10
super
writers.
exciting.
Garth Ennis. I wonder why.
Shade number one.
Although, X-Men variant alert. Apparently, even the X-Men have jumped on the variant Batman.
Oh, gross.
What an article.
Gross.
Yeah. The first appearance of Gambit at this point was $45.
And
Jonathan Lego Man, you're not getting it for $45 anymore, sir.
And a first.
You can
first
try.
Iron Fist was only $250.
Yeah.
That's
What's the first Iron Fist go for now?
that's like.
No, it's Sabretooth. And
First Sabretooth,
Oh,
like
yeah.
$450.
Yeah, okay.
About there. A lot of condition plays into that
Because
kind
the
of stuff.
first appearance was Iron Fist.
You can get a ratty copy for $250, but you're not going to get the copy that someone paid $250 for way back then.
in the top 10 of artists and writers, only one deceased member.
Yep.
So we're kind of strong there.
And it's also
Look
cool.
at that hair on Chris Pachalo.
Rest in peace, Michael Turner.
Yes, rest in peace,
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Turner. And shout out to Pop Mon for still being relevant all the way back from being Wizards' up-and-coming creator in May of 1997. He does a lot of cover work for Marvel DC now. He doesn't really do a lot of illustration himself, not counting stuff he crowdfunds himself. But still collecting the paychecks, still doing very, very well.
There you
And
go.
if you were alive in 1997 and regretted not buying the Heroes Reborn books, just know that they were going for $4 to $8 and $25 to $40 depending on the cover, and you can get them in the present day for maybe $2 max. So you're winning out.
You did.
And that's the last pictures we had.
And that's all of Wizards 97.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it.
Did you learn
There it
anything,
is.
Michael?
I learned that most of the things that I like happen to also be in Wizards 1997 from the
Maybe
year
that's just
that I
save it
was
for
born.
later.
Do it.
We got a couple minutes. It's not 8 o'clock yet.
You know, it's like
Well, I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm in luck. So this is a little something that arrived today. Well, actually, I have a couple things. This is kind of a combination of some different things.
Combination.
So the first thing is this Kevin Delgado artwork of Wesley and Beatrice here. That I got this as a part of one of the Tough Stuff Kickstarters. He offered a commission, and I took him up on it.
Kurt Duncan.
What's
Sorry.
that?
I'm reading the comments, sorry.
that Peter David picture, by the way, Scott. Peter David does look.
Yes.
And then Snatch.
He could be a friend of
Snatch-
Tony the Twist.
Snatch Napkin 87. Goodness, I was 10.
Yeah, that's the one that got me.
And then Morgan Heron.
Morgan Heron. Shout out to Morgan Heron. Frankie Boy Robot. Or Boy Robot.
Frankie Boy,
Monster.
Frankie Boy Frankenstein. I saw that he did a trade with another artist, Rick Lopez, who's another one of the Cosmic Lion affiliates. And I immediately messaged Morgan Heron because I really like the stuff from IC3, the Independent Comics Creators Comics Expo, which I applied.
That's a lot of words.
I applied to already. That's what they just call it, IC3. But I applied to it already. Like within an hour of them sending out the email, I applied. So hopefully I'll be able to do that again.
The eager beaver gets the worm.
Yeah, I hope so. But I did a drawing
I don't
for
think it's
his
supposed to.
character,
wasn't- no.
Frankie Boy
That's okay.
Frankenstein, and maybe it'll show up.
Trademark.
Maybe it'll show up in this
Make
pile.
sure.
Who knows? Who knows?
Boy Monster.
Because you never opened this
But I
before.
got this drawing here by Eli. Look at that. Yeah, he drew a little Wesley for me.
Oh, Eli's the best. Man.
Eli is the best.
That's best hair in the biz, Eli, right?
No,
No, that's
Daniel
Dan.
Warden.
Yep.
That's, Eli's got good hair though too.
Okay.
Eli's
Okay.
got great hair.
I give it to Daniel Warden at RIT. He
Okay.
still has the best hair in
Okay.
the game, but Eli's no slouch.
He's in the running.
He's no slouch.
If we looked at the Wizard top 10 list of hair in the comic book game, they would both be in there.
All right, good
Yeah.
to know.
This is a book called Death Slinger. It's written by Shane Berryhill with art by Ben Perkins. I thought this was going to be the first issue. It looks like this is a whole.
Chunk.
Yeah, it looks like they're.
love
they're
that
messing
cover.
around.
That's an 80 pager, right?
Yeah, with a nice Cosmic Lion sticker on the back there.
Which is
But,
why I didn't open it.
Yeah.
I was going to flip through it, but I'm like, we'll wait till Aaron opens it.
Well, I mean, you could open it. I didn't care. But I commissioned Ben Perkins to draw Wesley and Beatrice too, because of course I did. Right? That's my thing now. I
Who are Wesley and Beatrice?
the the main characters in Wesley the Robot. This is a great looking book.
Cosmic Lion, just picked up by Wizard Comics.
Or Diamond Comics.
Or
Diamond.
Yep.
Diamond.
Yeah, distributed by
Jeez,
Diamond.
It's past 7 o'clock.
It
I
is.
can't think anymore.
Evan turns off on the podcast. If you'll notice, if you go back and look, you reach that hour point, and it's just
7:01.
like
I
bonk.
just stopped changing the cameras and things
Oh,
like
it gets
that.
rough.
Let's go, Frankie, real quick. Real quick.
Yeah, let's take a look. This will be the final. Well, actually, almost final.
That'll be the final.
Almost final.
What's the ninja book?
Ninja book.
Karate
Oh,
Ninja.
Karate Ninja.
Yes,
by
this is
Sean
the same.
Lee.
This is the same community that does
Karate
for
Ninja.
that Karate Ninja.
Yeah,
film
they've got some good looking stuff too. There's another color book that I'm interested in checking out. But I like the size of the Frankie Boy Frankenstein.
That looks really fun. I love the
Yeah.
color. in
The
that.
colors are.
It was
I
my
can't really
favorite-
see much, but popping over here, yeah.
It was
Uh-huh.
my favorite thing of IC3 because it was just so fun, like so poppy and like it just flowed and the geometry.
This is a
I like that less and
19-year-old
less of it is getting on the
Yeah,
screen.
let's not put it back on the camera there.
You,
This is
you,
a
you got it
ni-
over here on the
This
camera.
is a 19-year-old kid who's doing
Yeah,
this too. Though.
he's
Oh,
a
okay.
college student
All right.
in college
He's a-
doing college work as he's producing.
Yeah, he's just a sophomore in college.
Michael and I just know these people through the stories that
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were told.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But,
Yeah, I've been talking to him recently. Very cool kid. Very, very intelligent.
oh yeah,
Given a couple interviews recently where like speaks beyond his years.
he's got a bright future ahead of
He
him.
really does. No matter what he does, I just think he
Yeah.
has the drive and the ability, and he's a good communicator. And
Very
whether
good.
he does comics or does other things, but like, to be doing this when you're 19 years old, and then to be able to speak so knowledgeably
Mhm.
about it, like it's really cool.
I remember my first interaction with him was when we were crossing the street, and like it's like a bunch of old like middle-aged men like crossing the street, and then he just like runs across effortlessly, and I go curse you and your young leg.
Yes.
Found out he's a cross-country runner.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway.
So's artist John Brugman, one of
Yes.
Kevin Delgado's friends.
Yeah. A lot of cross-country runners. I used to be a cross-country runner. Now I'm a cross-country roller. I don't know, driver. But now we've got the pin-up gallery.
And a wordsmith.
Yes. I'm the wordiest.
You
of
can
Smiths.
turn those phrases like nobody's
Ooh, Tony
business.
McMillan. We did Attaboy and some other stuff. Serious Features, Lumen, Maddie Keene. He's kind of blowing up in the indie scene. You know,
I
Maddie
should
Keene?
give Heron a pin up.
Yeah. Why didn't you?
I don't know.
You really
never
blew
thought
it.
about
You
it.
blew
Oh,
it,
this,
Evan.
what's this one?
Oh,
Hey,
look at
who's that?
this. Wow, that did print really nice. Look at that, Aaron Z. Lee after Morgan Heron. And this is real Zipatone, too. I cut that.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to mail that to him.
Larson's been cutting tones too.
I
I
saw
guess he
that.
found some old tone stuff. And he said,
Yeah.
"My kids are just going to throw
They'll
this
throw
away."
it away,
So
yeah,
I
so
may as well
use
just
it.
use it.
Yeah, I
Hey,
think
pass that over real quick. I want to actually
this,
look
yeah,
at
yeah,
it.
take a look.
I just want to look at
In
your.
fact, I got some other things to hand you, Martin.
Okay.
Oh yeah. The podcast,
I-
the podcast that never ends.
I wrapped these in the finest things I could find in my basement. You probably already know what these are. But,
Oh, yes,
But,
yes. We never talked about it.
This is I'm figuring out a corner of it. But that's what I got so far.
We've got a very nice lady. Am I on camera at all?
Yeah.
We've got a very hot gentleman. And we've got this guy who's pretty darn fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what that means? Thing was the most popular.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's been impossible to find the thing.
Yeah.
Because the thing's the best character. The thing's the best. Well, I'm not going to get into that.
And this will be
He is.
this will be
It's a
a
great
tradition I do. Like whenever it's someone else's birthday, I will be a birthday behind. And
That
give the previous person
is
their
the most
birthday gift.
Aaron Lee thing I think you've
actually
said
love
even
that.
tonight.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Happy birthday, Michael. Martin, here's a gift.
Happy birthday, Martin. Oh, wonderful.
That is the
All right.
most Aaron Lee thing possible.
Yes. Well, at least I remember.
Good news, we
something.
got 3 new bags.
Yeah.
Very good.
Recycling. It's a beautiful thing. Are you looking through the Frankie Boy?
Frankie?
thing?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
All right.
Yeah, it's good looking stuff.
Let's go home, Aaron.
Okay.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Yes, and.
Yes, and please.
Yes, and please, and thank you.
Yes, use your politeness.
You've been
Yes.
watching.
The Comic Shop does a podcast.
With 2 Scott, both of our Scotts in the chat tonight.
Wow.
We're this close to getting them together in a podcast.
Double Scots.
It's gonna happen.
Oh, you know what? That reminds me of
2025
Scott
goals.
Pilgrim. We should invite them back for Scott Pilgrim.
Scott,
I
sure.
don't know how your camera too has drifted. I think we've been slowly nudging the camera as we've been passing these back and forth.
Oh.
And now Michael's just totally out of shot.
That's okay.
But
It's too
whatever.
hot for TV.
On your birthday.
Yeah. Anyway, take us home.
It is warm in here, actually.
What is home?
All right.
It's where the heart is.
Apologies to Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby, we are sorry, man.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.